It's that anything they see on television to them is what it should be. But the independents is where you should be learning the proper foundation for the business, not just imitating what imitating what you see at the top. That's not what it's about. And sadly enough, that's if you guys probably go to independent matches around your area, and wherever I go and do my camps, I see the same thing: 6, 7, 8 matches on a card. 3, 4, 5 of them have stipulations. There's obviously going to be several multi-man matches, and so none of these things mean anything because they're just done over and over and over. If you go back to when Paulie first did a 3-way dance, who was it? It was Terry Funk, Shane Douglas, and Taboo. Yeah, and I even thought that's a cool name, a 3-way dance. That's really cool, and it was something special then. Is there anything special to either one of you guys now?
Yeah.
Every card has at least 2.
Yep.
It means absolutely nothing. And the sad part of that is those matches are extremely hard to work if you're Terry Funk.
Yeah.
And how many Terry Funks do you know?
Exactly. Well, Shane was kind of talking about that earlier in the show. What about just the natural evolution of the business? Like at one point, the DDT was, a devastating maneuver. Now it's a common thing now.
It's because that's allowed. It's because the business is not controlled. And what I mean by controlled, in too many ways, especially at the very top, it's micromanaged to the point of insanity. And it's detrimental. But in the other ways, you've got to realize, okay, I broke into a small. Again, I'm just using my career as an example. I broke in for a small promotion in Boston, Massachusetts in 1960. They didn't have television, didn't have anything like that, right? But the man running the promotion actually was in the wrestling business. He wasn't an insurance guy who was a fan and just wanted to pretend like he was Vince McMahon. And he wasn't just doing things to get a pop. Everything was done for a reason. And especially with his shows, because his regular towns, his regular weekly towns, to draw people, he had to save something to take them to the next week, right? Why are we the business? There's no reason for that. It has evolved, but not necessarily for the better. Because everybody's trying to reinvent the wheel, and I don't even understand the reason for that. I see in the NBA that the basketball shorts have gotten longer. They're long, long shorts instead of short shorts. There's a 3-point. I'm going back from when I was in high school. There's a 3-second rule. There's a 3-point shot, and that's pretty much it. That's the changes over my lifetime. In professional wrestling, we change something now we have kabuki theater. There's 17 different things. And, gentlemen, a great part of it is to hide the fact that we don't know how to work. We will use props, music, costumes, characters, bad comedy, to just try to disguise the fact that we really don't know how to work a wrestling match. But the sad part of that is, once the music stops, once you take off the goofy costume, and once the bell rings, if you can't work, it becomes very, very noticeable. Yeah. You got to realize the independents should be. The sad thing in our business, a lot of the young, you're old school, you're bitter because you can't do a quadruple somersault, and blah blah blah. Whatever. The point is, how we ran shows 30, 40 years ago in the small clubs. Well, you guys are in South Carolina, okay? I worked the Charlotte territory, worked Charleston, Columbia, all down through there. It should be done the same way. It should be done the same way. Instead of going out there entertaining yourself, and I mean you're not you guys, but you get what I'm saying. Instead of going out there to see how many spots you can get in, to see how many rotations you can do off the top rope, which is basically what too much of the independents are, entertaining themselves. You should be going out there to get to the people emotionally that have bought the tickets. Don't give them everything right now. And then, so they go home, and tomorrow, the one guy's in his backyard, and the neighbors say, "Hey, what'd you do last night, Charlie? Hey, man, I went to this great wrestling show. Man, it was only $10 or $12 or whatever, and it was very entertaining. You ought to go back with me," because that was the way we had to draw money in the dark ages, I guess. But what else do the independents have? But instead, well, I'm going to imitate what Vince does. I'm going to imitate what TNA does. Well, the bad part about that, I can sit here in the comfort of my living room, in my recliner, and see both of those shows, and see them produced with great lighting, great talent, great costuming, for nothing.
Yeah.
Why do I want to pay you $12 bad copy? See, so I mean I think I think, and I know when I say these things, I upset somebody, but it's tough to look in the mirror at yourself and say, "Hey, I'm not handsome," right? But you got to be your own worst critic in these situations, and that's what it comes down to.
Exactly. Now, I'm going to put you on the spot, Les, and we've got some people on the switchboard who probably want to weigh in the topic or ask you another question. Are you open to that?
Yeah, I'm cool with that. Yeah, I got nothing to hide.
All right. From the 513 area code, you are on the line with Hit the Ropes Radio and Les Thatcher. Who are we speaking with? Hello.
Wolfe.
Nobody.
Absolutely nobody. It's funny, you're talking about people that can't work. I thought that was a perfect introduction to myself.
Would this be Nigel McGuiness?
It is, the one and only. Many happy returns, from what I'm to understand. Is that right?
That's right. How you doing, buddy?
Good, mate. Good, mate. Not so bad at all. Just enjoying the wonderful Florida weather. Just been down the beach on a bike ride, got back home, got some food ready to go, so things are good. How about you?
Well, not bad. It's not great Florida weather here, but, it's not bad. And I'm looking forward to sitting down tomorrow evening and watching one of my favorite Englishmen evolve into a major star that he so much deserves.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm excited to see it as well. It's a great opportunity.
You think he deserves it too, right?
Yeah. The way you say that makes me think that you think almost as highly of me as I do myself.
Well, you know what? Probably more highly, because I can remember a time when you put it in yourself.
Right.
But you know what? I really enjoyed last week the way they introduced you and everything. It was very strong, and the way they left it, and the way you stood over him with a mic and said, "Now you'll remember my name," and took the walk. I thought, yes, sir, that's great business, great business. I am so happy for you because, my friend, if no one else knows, you and I know the dues you've paid to get this opportunity, and I just hope that they realize what a great talent they have and utilize it in the proper manner.
Yeah, I think they do. And I appreciate that, Les. I really do. It's been a long, hard road, so it's been really good. I'm really excited about it.
For those listening, I want to tell you that this young man traveled across the Atlantic Ocean, Lord knows how many times, over how many years, to get his training, and he's sacrificed so much and given so much. And we talk about paying dues, and no young people in this business currently have paid any more dues than my friend Desmond Wolfe. I've got to remember to call you Desmond Wolfe.
Yeah, it grows on you. I'm really quite liking the name, actually. Yeah, it's great.
All right. Well, you know what? It's all I'm asking is you to send me a ticket so I can come lay on the beach in Florida with you.
Yeah, there you go. I tell you, as soon as I start getting on the old house shows and get some frequent flyer miles, you'll be in it. In it to win it.
Right. Hey, tell these guys about how you started as a gimmick man with the T-shirt.
Yeah, I mean, when I started out, what was it? It was September 1998, I think it was, and I showed up that morning, and that was a Saturday morning. We had the first show. Where was that? Blanchester, Ohio. Was that right? I believe
it was. Yes.
Yeah, I went there and set up the ring, and I was all just googly